It's number 2 in the West versus number 3 in the West tonight on TNT. The Houston Rockets travel to Memphis to take on the Grizzlies. I'll let you know how to bet this game to make money right now. What's up, everybody, and welcome to the jungle. I'm going to tell you everything you need to know to bet the game today between Houston and Memphis. And I'll tell you what I'm cold on, what I'm warm on, and what I'm hot on. And hey, if you want more of these game standalone videos, hit that thumbs up button, because the more I know you like them, the more I'll continue to do them. So we got Houston +5 right now, and the over-under set at 236.5. It opened up at 238.5. It's the fourth time that they've played this season. Let's take a look at the other 3 games and things that we should note about those 3 games as we go on here. First game, Houston won 128-110 for a total of 238. It's important to note that Jaren Jackson Jr. did not play in that game. And because of that, they were completely out-rebounded. Houston out-rebounded Memphis 64-43 in that game. 64, by the way, one of the highest rebounding performances from any team this season. Memphis shot only 41.8% from the field in that game. Game number 2, Houston won 119-115. Total score was at 234. Memphis shot 50% in that game and were out-rebounded by 6 still. Third game they played this season, Memphis won 120-118. Houston won 120-118. Memphis has gotten closer each time that they've played. Total in that game was again 238, same as the first game. Jalen Green had 42 points in that game for Houston, and they out-rebounded Memphis again, this time 40-31. So in the 3 games that they've played, Memphis has been out-rebounded every time, and they've continued to shoot better every time, but Houston's made the proper adjustments, and they've beat them at their game. Houston's defensive team, they give up just 103 points a game, but they've proven that they can score with teams like Memphis. Memphis and Houston are not just 2 of the best teams in the West, but 2 of the best teams in the association. The Grizzlies are the highest scoring team in the NBA. They just passed Cleveland. They now average 123.3 points a game. They take the second most shots a game at 93.1. What's funny is the team who takes the most shots in the NBA is Houston, 93.2. So we have the teams who take the 2 most shots playing here in this game. The difference is that Houston plays a ton of defense, better than anyone in the NBA, in my opinion. Now, Memphis has the most free throw attempts in the NBA per game. They play very physical games, 24.1 a game they're getting. Now they also give up the second most free throws a game. They give up 25 free throws a game on average to opponents. So expect a very physical game, especially with Dillon Brooks coming back to play his former team in Memphis, in their home stadium. Now, in terms of rebounding, no one's better than Houston, but Memphis is close. In fact, if you look at rebounding differential against opponents per game, Houston's number 1 at +5.1. Memphis is number 2 at +4.5. Where that could turn today is that Alperen Sengun and Steve Adams, their center and their backup center off the bench, are both listed as questionable. My guess is one of them will play at least, and I think it'll be Sengun, but they are listed as questionable. That's something to keep an eye on. On the Memphis side of things, Ja Morant's an interesting piece to this game. In the 3 games against Houston, he scored 24, 27, and 29 points. But after that, in fact, from the very last game, after he scored 29 against Houston and they lost in that game, he went on a huge downslide. Now, he's been battling some really bad injuries, especially his right shoulder, which is a shooting arm, of course. So let's look at his last 5 games. So these are his last 5 games. He played Houston 6 games ago, had that 29, but after that, 21, 19, 16, 11, 10. You see the graph here. He's continued to go down with his points scored every game since that 29 he had against Houston. I'm recording this video at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time. At 1:15 p.m. Eastern Time, he just got added to the injury report. He wasn't on it this morning, but he just got added at 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time as a game time decision. I can't guarantee this, but I'll tell you, in my experience, when a player's added to the injury report last minute, they ordinarily don't play. I don't expect him to play, but of course, I can't guarantee it. Because of those question marks, I'm cold on the total. I would stay away from the over and the under. Don't touch it because we don't know what players are going to be in there. Now, here's a bet that I'm warm on. I'm warm on the Houston Rockets money line, +156. Now, I know it's tough to beat a team 4 times in the season, especially as good as Memphis. But in games with Ja Morant this season, Memphis is 19-9. Without them, they're just 12-7. Even when they play the way that Memphis played the last 3 games, Memphis got them into a scoring game. They were able to beat them because of the way they play defense, because of their shooting efficiency. If Ja Morant is out, that's going to greatly impact the Grizzlies lineup. What that's going to mean is Des Bane is going to slide to point guard, and Luke Kennard is going to come in the starting lineup at the 2. Now, what's going to happen there is those guys are perimeter shooters. They shoot way more threes than Ja Morant does. Ja Morant drives the lane. Those guys, Bane is more of a facilitator when he plays point, but he also shoots more from the outside. He rarely takes it to the hole. Kennard never takes it to the hole, ordinarily. He's an outside shooter, and nobody is better at defending the three-point perimeter shot than the Houston Astros. Here's some stats to back that up. Houston's second in the NBA in terms of allowing three-point shots, and second in the NBA in terms of allowing three-point shots made. Orlando's 1 in the first category, OKC's 1 in the second, Houston's second in both of them. So I'm warm on the Houston Rockets. I like them. You have to take it for that plus money. You have to take that, even though it'll be the 4th time that they've beaten them. They're going to out-rebound them again. Again, they'll keep an eye on Sengun and Adams. I think that they'll play. Here's a prop that I'm hot on. This is my favorite bet in this game. There's a player on Houston who's excelled and shot a ton, and they've gone to him a lot against the Grizzlies, and mainly because Jaren Jackson Jr. is a former Defensive Player of the Year, plays great in the middle, so the Rockets have scored more from the perimeter against Memphis. That's Jalen Green. Let's look at his 3 games against Memphis this season. First game, he shot 21 times, had 22 points. Second game, shot 21 times, had 27 points. Third game, shot 18 times, had 42 points. My favorite play in this game, I'm hot on Jalen Green, over 22.5 points. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. And hey, if you don't have a thought or a pick, just do this. Type the word ape in the comments section. It helps me with the algorithm so more people can see these videos every single day. Have a great day, Jungle Nation, and I'll see you tomorrow with a little more money in your pocket.